Hi guys, happy Sunday. This is October 7th and it's been a while since I did a live video, and this is just kind of spur of the moment. One of the last live videos I did was about bits, and I just saw another video on Facebook not too long ago, and I wanted to kind of talk about what I saw, and it was kind of like the difference between a three-piece bit and a two-piece bit. And it was funny because when I had ridden my gelding, which I have two videos up of him lately, the one in the orange shirt, I rode in this bit. This is probably my favorite snaffle, ring snaffle bit. This is what I rode him in that video. And it's a three-piece, and the mouthpiece isn't twisted, it's textured. And he does really well in this one. And the next day, the video where I'm wearing the blue shirt, I haven't posted the rest of the other video. I just have the no hands, no reins riding. So I'm going to put some of the other stuff up from that ride soon, but this is what I had on that day. So this is a two-piece. Hi, how you doing? Are you having a good day? So this is a two-piece, and the cheeks, the rings are fixed. They're loose on this one. And in the beginning I had used this one on him, and he would resist sometimes and throw his head up in the air. Oh yeah, good. And so anyway, I found this one and had switched to this one. So the video I saw a few days ago kind of gave me more insight as to why. You know, I know this is a more considered a more mild because it breaks. I think the more brakes it has in it and swivels and stuff like that and brakes here, it's supposed to be considered more mild. This one, it would be like a next step up. Well, not exactly, because the twist makes it a little more harsh than like a smooth mouth. But anyway, what I learned was, and I had heard that two-piece bits can poke the roofs of their mouths and stuff like that, but the two-piece bit can also, it also puts more pressure on the bar. Now this has a little bit of a curve, so it's probably not going to put as much pressure as if this was straight, but it puts pressure on the bars, like where the bit sits. And what the guy said, now he's a bit maker, and what he said is that pressure on the bars creates lift in a horse, which I knew this bit created lift, but I didn't know exactly why. And he said it creates lift because that pressure on the bars, horses will move away from it. So it makes them lift up because they're moving away from the pressure. And that makes total sense with him because he, I see that he doesn't really like the pressure, too much pressure on the bars, and that's why he likes this one. So now this one, a three-piece, this little break in the middle adds just a little bit of tongue pressure, and because it adds tongue pressure, it takes off the corners of the mouth, the bars. It takes pressure off the bars and distributes it a little bit more to the tongue, so it's maybe a little bit more even. And he does really well with this one. He doesn't resist it much, and I think this one's more comfortable for him. And the length of the three-piece here, this little piece in the middle, the longer it is, the more tongue pressure it creates and the less bar pressure it gets. So if you wanted to have more tongue pressure and less bar pressure, you would want one that has a little bit longer piece in the middle. And this is a shank bit that I use. It's 3-piece. And this piece in the middle is a little bit longer. So this creates a little bit more tongue pressure, less bar pressure. Baby does really well with this one. I tried her in this one. She did not like it as much either. So, and although this is a shank, which they say, you know, shanks you start to use those with older horses. There's a little bit more to them, a little bit more control when you have a shank. But with a 3-piece mouth, it makes it a fairly mild bit. And you also get a little bit of the chin strap pressure when you use a shank bit. So, and I have 2 more here. Oh, and this one, I didn't talk about this one. This is another 3-piece ring snaffle. So this one is fixed too. It has a middle piece and the mouth is smooth. So anytime the mouth is smooth, that's going to be more mild. You start to add a twist or texture, it bumps it up just a little bit where they'll pay more attention. So if you have one that's a little dull with something like this, then you could just do like a twist. And this is one that I use on my Appy. And I was thinking about this too. This is like a correction bit, a low port correction bit. And this breaks in three places. So it breaks at the bottom of each of the port here. So this creates a little bit of tongue pressure, but also it gives them a little bit of tongue relief because they can kind of stick their tongues up there too. But this will give a little bit of bar pressure. And depending on how tight you have the chin strap, adds a little bit more. So you can adjust that to whatever you need. I think different horses will accept different pressures, so you just have to kind of find what works. I haven't tried Baby in this yet, but I think I want to try this with her. And these are pretty short shanks. I think these are maybe 5-inch. Very, very short. It's like some of the shortest. So, and Chansey, I'd like to try him in this, but his jaws up here are so wide that this doesn't really move that much, and I think this would be too tight and rub on him. So I might try to find him with a mouthpiece that's a little bit wider. This is just a regular, your typical 5-inch mouthpiece. And I'd maybe try to find him 5 1/8 or 5 1/4, maybe 5 1/4. And I should say, but instead of that, now I have one hooked up to a bridle. This one is pretty similar. It's just a little bit heavier. Can I get them custom made? Yeah, I'm sure you probably could. Yeah, I never looked into that. That's a good question. I know you can get saddles custom made, so I'm sure you could probably get different bits custom made. This man that I saw on Facebook, he was a bit maker, and he had tons of bits there. And I don't know if he does custom stuff, but that's a good question. I might look into that. That's really interesting. I never thought of like getting a custom bit. So, but this one is similar to the one I just had up, but it just swivels more. It just swivels more everywhere. And this moves a little bit more, so it's a little bit, would open up a little bit more. And I have used, not this particular one on Chansey, but I've used the one that I have similar. It's just a little bit lighter. This, I think the sides are just a little bit, it's heavier, but it's the same thing. It swivels at the cheeks, it swivels in and out this way, and then it swivels this way. So it swivels every which way, which this one would probably be considered maybe a little bit more mild than this one, because this one's a little bit more fixed, but yet this one has longer shanks than this one, so probably 6 of one, half a dozen of another. But I was thinking of trying Chansey in this one again. It's been a while since I used this on him, but yeah, I wanted to try it again, and he might. Howdy! Zozoku? Is that how you say your name? Good to see you here. We're talking about bits. Yeah, so probably one of the next videos coming up. I haven't ridden him in it yet, but I'll, oh, sorry about that. But yeah, when I do ride him in it, I'm going to videotape it because, and I'll share it with you guys. But I've been using my Solo Shot a lot, and that's the camera that tracks you, and it's becoming really helpful. Oh, thank you. It's becoming really helpful because, you know, you feel certain things when you're riding, but sometimes it's good to see what it looks like so you can compare it to the feel that you were feeling. And you know, like, even though he didn't like the second bit, so this one, I'll show you again. So if you guys look at my last 2 videos, the one in the orange shirt, this is the bit that I was using. And although he likes this one better, and I think his lope looked really nice, I was able to get in his mouth. He dropped his head. We were trying to work on consistency, and he tends to do well with this one. The second video in the blue shirt, that was no hands, so that one doesn't really count, but I'm going to try to edit the rest of that video so you can see the whole ride on that one. This is the bit that I had on in that one, and it's fixed on the sides. How hard is it to take care of horses? It's a lot of work. I have 4, so yeah, to you know, feed them. And now it's like we're going into we're fall going into winter, so I've already started to put light blankets on. So, and we've been getting some rain, and the light blankets I have aren't really waterproof, so I'm putting a sheet on top of that too, so it's kind of like double extra work. And then it's warm enough during the day to take those off, but I think this is probably the hardest time of year where you have to put them on and take them off. As you get into winter, you can just kind of leave them on. But yeah, you know, and then to try to exercise them all or turn them out, yeah, it's a lot of work, especially like riding them too, and trying to get a specific gait, or you're doing a specific discipline. You know, that takes focus and concentration, and yeah, watching your videos that you made and trying to see what you need to work on. Which that's what, yeah, that's why I was talking about these bits, because, oh, thank you. Yay. These bits, when I saw that video on Facebook, I was like, you know, I'm not a bit expert. I know a little bit about bits. I know which ones are more mild, which ones aren't. It really all has to do with your hands too. So if you have good hands, no bit is really harsh. It's just how you use it. But certain bits give you different things. And I knew this one lifted. It helped your horse to lift. But I didn't know exactly why. So I think you guys that are new just coming on, I'll say that again. What I learned was, this was a bit maker that I was watching, and he was talking about how the 2-piece, it can poke the roof of the mouth, which I knew that, but a 2-piece, this one, since it's curved a little bit, isn't going to put as much on the bars. But if this was straight across, when you go like this and fold it down, it puts a lot of pressure on the bars, of their mouth, like where that bit sits. So it kind of is like a vice grip. And this, because it has a little bit of a curve, is going to take a little bit of pressure off the bars. My gelding, I used this in the beginning, and he would like resist and throw his head up in the air sometimes. And now I kind of know why. He obviously doesn't like too much bar pressure. And what happens with that bar pressure, the reason this would create lift is because bar pressure like that, the guy says that horses will move away from that pressure instead of into it. They move away from it, and that's what creates the lift. So when I did use this, knowing that, well, I didn't know it when I used it the other day, but after seeing it, watching the video, he did have a little bit more lift in his jog. And I don't know, I'll have to go back and watch the lope again. I was kind of torn with the lopes. He was a little bit more resistant, I think, with the lope because I was in his mouth just a little bit more, like I was in the video with the orange shirt. But yeah, he doesn't like that bar pressure. So the one that he tends to really like, which is the one that I used with the orange shirt in one of my last videos, the 3-piece bit, he explained that as the piece in the middle takes away a little bit of the bar pressure, because you have this piece in the middle now that creates and gives tongue pressure, and the tongue pressure kind of makes them drop their head. So if you watch that video, his walk, jog, or they're always good, but you know, the lope, because I was using my hands a little bit more to get him to push up from behind, he had his head dropped. And this piece right here gives that tongue pressure, takes off of the bar pressure. And the longer this piece is in the center, the more tongue pressure it gives and the less bar pressure. So this bit here, now this is a shank bit. Okay, thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. This one has shanks, but you can see this mouthpiece. Bye-bye. This centerpiece here is bigger than that ring. So this creates a little bit more tongue pressure and takes off some of the pressure on the bar. Baby really likes this one. She does well on this one. And I think I used it on Shancy once, but I'm not sure. I don't really remember. I've been using this on him more. And but I thought that was interesting because, you know, it makes you kind of look at these bits too and understand them a little bit more. This is one I use on my Appy, and it's more of a correction bit. It's a low port. It's a very low port, very small. He has a narrow muzzle here, and so this fits him really well. And this is a very short shank. This is, I think, 5 inches, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe not even that much. Short shank. But towards the end, this is what I like to show him, and he does really well in this one. But it kind of makes you understand these a little bit more, as far as, you know, breaking them in the center like that. You know, having that center piece, it just gives a little bit more tongue pressure and less bar pressure. And this little hole right here too, they can put their tongue up there too to, you know, kind of get it out of the way too. So it's not directly like pushing on their tongue. It kind of depends on how they have their head. But this creates a little bit on the roof too. So, and with shank bits, it just depends on the tightness of your chin strap too, as to how much you're going to get from this port. If you have it a little bit tighter, it's going to be more chin pressure than this, because the chin strap will stop this sooner. But if you have the chin strap looser, this will be able to work and do its job a little bit more. But I think I might try this on Baby soon. And I think this is one of the ones that I'm going to try on Chansey next. This one is similar to the one I just showed you, but it twists, it has more bends. So the cheeks bend, it breaks this way, and then it breaks right in the center too. So it has a lot of motion to it, and you can just really get in there and kind of work their bodies with this. I use this, not this particular one. I have one that's actually a little bit lighter, but I used this on him in the beginning, and he did well with it. But then I got away from it and went to the ring snaffle. But I think it's about time to go back to this, especially since I have my solo shot and I can videotape it and kind of see the difference and how he goes. You know, you can feel it like when you think they're going right, but it's good to like watch it and say, oh yeah, that looked really good. There was a difference between this bit and this bit. Although I can't show him in this bit because he is, let's see, how old is he? He's 9 years old. I can't believe I've had him since 2013. So 5.5 years. So this is just for working a little bit more direct contact with his mouth. So I can't really show him in this. I could when I first got him, but he's moved up into a shank bit. So I do have a shank bit that I use on him and that I've shown him in. And I showed that in my last bit video where I was showing my bit collection. And that was just part of my bit collection. I have a lot more bits that, yeah, maybe I'll have to do a full bit collection. But today I just wanted to talk about the difference between the 3-piece mouth and then the two-piece mouth, and like what I learned, something new. It's like neat when you learn something new. And yeah, so his show bit is the one that had the, if you saw that video, it's the one that had the real pretty shanks, silver. It wasn't shined up or anything, but it was just a 2-piece mouth. And so it was like this. It was like this, no twist. It was a smooth mouth. And I think this might not have been as curved, but the shanks were probably about this length. And it's a DM lifter bit. And the difference between a DM lifter bit and just your regular bit is the purchase is higher. So it's up here. So this right here where your bridle attaches comes up higher. That's supposed to create more lift in a horse too. So yeah, so the purchase is the part from the mouthpiece up to where the bridle attaches, and that DM lifter bit that he works well in, that's a shank bit, it comes up just a little bit higher. And yeah, that is just, you know, I can use just light touch, so it works really well for showing. And anyway, yeah. Just want to do a quick video. Like I said, it was kind of spur of the moment. I was coming out here. I have my gelding Chansey. He's roaming around the pasture, and I brought a couple books out here to sit out here and read. And I thought, oh yeah, my stand is out here for my phone. Let me just go ahead and maybe do a quick video on what I learned from that guy. And I can't remember the name of the bit maker, but I think I saved it on my personal Facebook page, and I might share it onto Life with Horses TV Facebook page, or maybe put it on my website too. So, and also I have a video. I sent in a video to a trainer that him and his girlfriend are getting ready for Congress, and they have a new thing where a Patreon page where you can pay monthly. They have different amounts you can pay, but you can send in a video and they'll critique it and send you back some advice. And I did that with him. So I posted what I sent to them on my website. I didn't put it up on my YouTube channel. I made it unlisted. So if you want to see it, because not very many people go to my websites, I did put it on my lifewithhorses.tv. It's up on the website if you want to see what I sent in. And actually that has the two the 2 rides that I was talking about. It has the other part of the ride that I haven't finished yet where I use this bit, so you can kind of see the difference in that. But my question was about the lope and how to improve his lope. Where do I take it from where it is right now? So if you watch the video in the orange shirt, one of my later videos, you can see that's kind of like as far as we've gotten with the lope. When we first started with our lope, it took us a half to a full circle to get him into the lope. And once he got in, he wasn't too bad, but it wasn't as collected as it could be. So I feel like we've gotten it more collected and a little more consistent with his head down. But I'm kind of stuck. I don't know where to go from here to make it better. And by better, I mean slower, just a little slower with maybe a little more lift. And how to get it slower on a loose rein too. You know, because Western Pleasure, they're supposed to do everything on a loose rein. And he can do little bits on a loose rein. And I can ride him just one-handed loosely, but it wouldn't be, he needs to be taught to carry himself a little bit better, I guess. And yeah, I just want him to go just a little bit slower. So, you know, maybe eventually we can show the local shows, loping classes, but next year I want to gear up for at least the walk jog classes. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and end this. I have my books. I'm going to sit and watch my horsey mosey around and read my books and turn a couple more horses out too in a little bit. So just wanted to say happy Sunday. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh, somebody else just came on. I was just ending the video. You want to say hi? Say hi. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go watch my horsies mosey around and read my books. And it's a really pretty day. The sky is pretty clear. We've had like rain the last, I don't know, 2-3 days or so, just icky weather, overcast. Today is like really one of the first nice days in 3 or so days. So yeah, I figured coming out here, watching them mosey around and reading some books would be very relaxing. So that's what I'm going to do. If you're watching this after the live video and you like it, give it a thumbs up. Whenever you guys give me a thumbs up, it just lets me know that you like that kind of content, and I can make more of that kind of content. And also maybe leave in the comments too what kind of stuff you like to see. What are your favorite types of videos? Do you like this kind of video, like talking about bits and different things, feeding schedule, the riding videos, the live videos? Comment below and let me know. And hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.